Hey everybody, before we get started today, I had to take the time and address the unfortunate reality that DraftKings is now banned where I live. Now, I was given an issue a few days ago that DraftKings will no longer be permitted in Ontario. And when I mean DraftKings, I mean more the DFS side of things. I will be getting the sportsbook here, and I think that is why it's getting banned, or let's say restricted for now. But at the end of the day, it's just gone, and there's nothing I can do about that. And that really sucks because that's what I built my name, our channel around, and it's what I think I've been doing pretty well, and it's become really a good source of income for me. Now, am I going to stop making content? I can't. I spend so much time doing it. It's become part of my routine. I have all these spreadsheets, all this data. I'm not going to give it up because I'm doing the research for betting anyways. Why not give it out to you absolute beauties out there? And I think I'm going to keep doing that. I know I'm going to keep doing that. So don't worry. DraftKings is not going anywhere. I just wanted to address that before everything gets started. The videos will still be going out. The Ironman will still be intact. But your host, Gordo Gamble, is not going anywhere. We are still going to keep raking in the cash and making some money. All right, with that out of the way, hey guys, welcome back to the Plays and Fades YouTube channel. I'm your host, Gordo Gamble, joined today by me, myself, and I, a solo episode. Heroes out there throwing frisbee, so if you have time to check out the AODL League, cheer him on for a bit. Go Ottawa. And he honestly picked a decent card to miss out on because this is nothing special. With that being said, so that last week, it was actually a pretty entertaining card. This one, though, just not as interesting from a DraftKings point of view. This video should be out Thursday, so by now I will have made my debut on the PubSport radio station with three absolute great minds, and there's a lot smarter than I am, but who I think put together a great show each and every week. I'm lucky enough to be featured this week, and I gave my points there. So if you guys want to go check out the PubSport radio DFS breakdown, I will have that in the channel below. But what you'll find from me saying on there is that there's not many dogs that I'm super fond of. As every week, though, I am going to go through the entire card, giving you my core plays, who I'm looking to target, who I'm looking to fade. Plays and fades, baby. We're going to keep doing it. And I'm going to try to make you guys some money. So takedown incoming this week. I don't care if it's a card I don't like. Money will still be made. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into this main event. We have Holm facing on Vieira. But before we do so, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button down below. Show some love because it's a tough card, but we're going to get started right here. Holm, the preacher's daughter, someone who's been around for a long time, one of the biggest names in WMMA, and for good reason. She's talented. She was the champ. Is she the most interesting fighter? No, but she has gone around and she's faced the best of the best, and you have to give her credit to that. We have not seen her since she absolutely dominated against Irene Aldana. 5 rounds, 133 fan points, looking amazing doing so. And what she does is she's able to do really, really well against a low level of competition. She's fought the best of the best. She's been knocked out by Nunes, knocked out by Cyborg, lost to Shevchenko. Like, she goes out there and she faces the best of the best. She puts up a fight every single time. I think that's the big thing to take away from this is she's going to have that big experience edge. I do think Holm at 9.1K is the side, a preferable angle in cash because this is a main event you don't necessarily have to have in this slate. But we all know what Holm does. She's a great, fantastic striker. She has a positive striking differential, something that'll go a long way here. And it's going to be up to Vieira to try to take her down. In doing so, I do think Holm's stronger, won't be able to keep Holm there for a while. And even at that, Holm has a 76.9% takedown defense against the best of the best. I think she's able to keep it upright and style on her, similarly how she did to Irene Aldana a couple of years ago. Now, am I running to have her in all my lineups? Am I running to tell you guys to have her in all your lineups? No. Actually, I'm more so inclined to tell you to go up. The fighter right above her, Jailton Almeida, is this week's Alexander Romanov. He's this week's stud. He's this week's absolute star. And that for the reason is he's been absolutely dominant. However, we get an interesting matchup this week because he's going up to heavyweight. He's facing Parker Porter, a guy who's going to be a lot bigger than him. With that being said, Jailton Almeida is going to have a huge advantage. If you guys are the same size, Jailton Almeida would be a minus 1,700 favorite or something like that. Even at that, he's still minus 600, and I do think he lives up to his 9.4K price tag. Despite Parker being the porker and being the bigger guy here, Jailton Almeida will be bigger. He will have that ground game. We haven't seen much of his striking, but he says it's pretty good, and I think I can see some glimpses of it. But we know he's going to shoot for that takedown, like to dominate, like to get on top, control position, and look to get him out there early. Porter has been finishing all of his losses, and if you look at Almeida, he's a guy who's going to go for that finish at all time. He's going to do so by getting it to the ground. 71% takedown accuracy with a 63.82 control time. That means he's going to keep him down there. Now, I know Porter's the bigger guy. We're going to be able to see how he fares to that, but I think that his ground game is no match. Jailton has looked to be legit, and I think he finishes Porter early. I think he's a core play, 9.4K, a guy you kind of have to have this week. Now, if you want to afford this guy at 9.4K, you're gonna need a dog, and I can't believe I'm saying this. One of my favorite dogs this week is going to be Chase Hooper. We all know Chase Hooper, very, very young and a one-trick pony and a ground guy. No striking at all, uses his head as a punching bag and is able to be durable enough to withstand it, but he needs it on the ground. And it's not someone you really want to back because there's so many levels of his game he has to improve. Now, Hooper has had some time off and he's had the time to get bigger, and he will be the much bigger fighter in this spot here. 5 inches taller, 6 inches more of reach, but I don't think it'll really matter because I think this is all going to be decided in the grappling exchanges. Now, the reason I like Chase Hooper here is because he has a higher floor than a lot of people at his price range, but he also has a higher ceiling. Chase Hooper is a great submission artist. It's what he does best, and Vince Morales is probably going to bring it to the ground where he wants it. I don't think Morales is strong enough to take out Hooper. We've seen Hooper be very durable, so that just leaves a big ceiling for Hooper, who in exchange I think can get that finish of Colares here. So with a guy like Hooper coming back stronger, being the bigger fighter, facing a guy who wants to take to the ground with him, I'm gonna have to edge here at the dog price tag. Moving right along, the fight I want to target this week is gonna be between Chidi Njokuani and Dusko Todorovic. Now, the reason I'm saying fight to target is because I want a bit of both sides. I think both these guys' game plans play into the other's weaknesses. I'm gonna put this very simply. Chidi Njokuani has a lot of power, and he showed that knocking out Marc-Andre Barriault last time out. Dusko has no striking defense and relies on his head movement. If he lets himself get clipped too much, he's going to end up looking like he did against Punahele Soriano. On the other side of things, Chidi Njokuani has a longer MMA career than we see in the UFC cage. Went over to Bellator, fought in the regional scene. His hole is his takedown defense and his ability to be clinched up. Now, he has looked a lot better since making it to the UFC, but Dusko showed that he's able to take people down. He's able to ground them out. He finished Patolo on the ground. He finished Townsend on the ground. I think that if he's able to take down Chidi here, he's able to be very, very live. That being said, these guys have a 75% combined finish rate. It means they're going to finish one way or the other, I think. I think it's either going to be Chidi on the feet or Dusko on the ground. I'm leaning towards Chidi because I think that Dusko doesn't have the striking defense to deal with it. I know Dusko's tough, but if you leave your head there, Chidi's definitely a guy with a lot of power. Chidi's very accurate, 86% striking accuracy, and although he has been finishing 6 of his 7 losses, has looked a lot better recently. Give me both sides with a lean towards Chidi Njokuani. All right, moving right along. This week's value play is going to be Tabitha Richy. And before I break down this fight, let me just say, I think it's everyone's main event this week. 2 good-looking girls, and they're going to go at it on the ground here. That all being said, I'm leaning heavily towards Baby Shark this weekend. I think that she has the wrestling ability and the BJJ credentials to stay safe against the submission threat of Vieira. And then if you look at striking and wrestling, minute winning as well, Richy also has the edge. So let me break this down real quick by giving you one simple comparison. I think this one plays out a lot like Cortez versus Gatto. Cortez, the very good wrestler that's being able to stay safe on top, versus a girl in Gatto who's really dangerous and able to throw up submissions. With that being said, I think this is a completely different level to it. I think that Richy is a lot more dangerous than Cortez is to finish down there. I think Richy is actually live for a finish here, but even at that, she's going to have the ability to get takedowns, ability to get control time, strikes from the top. She looked to flow very, very well in her last time out, and I just think she wins this fight at a very, very high clip. Polyana Vieira allows 38% control time from top because she wants to get those submissions, but she's not going to submit Hannah Cyphers from bottom position. I think that Tabitha Richy is able to survive as well. And if Vieira is able to go out there and get submitted by Macedo, I don't see why Richy can't here. I'm all over Richy. She fights and trains with the better fighters, and I think she goes out there and proves herself this week. Give me her at $8,300. All right, let me talk about one more fight I really want to target as a whole. I'm looking at that Morales versus Medic fight, and you look at a guy in Euros Medic. He's never gone over that 1.5 round mark. Average fight time is 2.63 minutes. Really just a kill or to be killed fighter here, and for that reason, you're going to want to have some of this fight in your lineup. Medic is very live early, a lot of power, but he seems just a bit fraudulent. Come from the Alaska fight scene, a guy with a really questionable ground game who just packs a lot of power. Morales, on the other hand, though, I would be all over him if he was a smarter fighter, but if you're not going to shoot takedowns against Giga Chikadze, I can't trust him to shoot takedowns here. However, that being said, that path to victory is definitely there. I think he's able to go take him down to submit him at will. If he does decide to strike, though, I do think Morales is durable enough to survive the early onslaught and come out later. I do know that Morales is super tough, super powerful as well. So when Medic starts to fade in those later rounds, I think Morales all day. I think Morales is actually very, very live to finish here. Morris fought the better competition where he does struggle to shoot those takedowns, has 100% takedown accuracy when he does decide to go for them. I think that he gets him out of here pretty easily and exposes the fraudulent Euros Medic. That being said, though, we have to be aware of Medic's win condition here. It's a first round finish, so I would have a little bit of him in his own right, but not someone I'm overly high on. All right, next up, let's talk about my dart throw, my Hail Mary, my go big or go home play. This is going to disgust me coming out of my mouth, but Alan Amidovsky. This guy's win condition is a round 1 KO, and I think Joseph Holmes is not that good. Is Amidovsky good? No, not at all. He's coming off a 2-year layoff, and at that, his 2 UFC fights, he got dominated by Jotko on the ground and knocked out by John frickin' Phillips. I just don't think Holmes is UFC caliber, and give me a guy in Amidovsky who does have really big power. His win condition is that first round knockout. If he does get it, it'll absolutely break the slate. I'm gonna have a little bit of ownership on him because it's just, I don't think Holmes is that good. There's also the thing about Amidovsky training with Kazmat Chimaev, so maybe he's learned some things that we don't know. He's been off for a while. I'm not expecting huge improvements, but Holmes is just not a guy I really want to back. And when you're giving me that huge underdog price tag on someone whose win condition scores very, very well, I'm gonna have a tiny bit of Amidovsky this weekend. All right, let's round out the rest of the card here. Elise Reed versus Hughes. Elise Reed, 8.5K. I do favor her to win, but I'm not going to take her over Morales and Richy right below her. I don't think she scores that well. I think this fight probably scores the lowest out of all of them. I see it playing out similar to Reed's last fight where she didn't score that well and neither did her opponent. Despite me picking Reed, I think it is dog or pass because Hughes' win condition scores better with those takedowns and that control time. But I am picking Reed to win. Pass on that one. Pereira Ponzinibbio, and whereas this is going to be a super high-level technical fun fight, I still don't think it scores that well. Michel Pereira's not a guy who scores very well in his wins, and I do have him to win here. Not when I'm getting too involved in this weekend. I know they're decent for salaries, but I can't see them going in there and scoring 110 points or anything. So I'd rather go to other people in that price range, but I am picking Pereira to win. Similar to the Martinez-Morales one. Give me Martinez all day, but I don't think he scores well in his win. He's going to be chopping at those legs, so I hope it's okay. I do think Morales has the higher scoring path to victory, but even at that, I don't think it happens too often. Don't want much of that one either. And last but not least, Park versus Anders. I think Park wins, but does he score better than Holm or Almeida at top? I don't think so that much. Another fight that I'm not too heavy on, but I do think Park is the rightful favorite in this one. All right, that's gonna do it for me here on the Plays and Fades YouTube channel. If you wanna know anything more about my bets, check out the CurrentMMA YouTube channel below or a live stream I'm doing this Friday. Have more details about that on my Twitter. If you wanna know anything more about my DraftKings side of things, along with 3 great minds that I was lucky enough to be a part of on that Wednesday night live stream, I will put that in the description below. Check out Pop Sport Radio for that. With that being said, let's make some money, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Once again, make sure you subscribe and the like button down below. It's tough for me with this whole change in regulations here in Ontario, but I'm pushing through. Hopefully you guys do well this weekend. Let's make some money, guys.